and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a magic crochet potholder in a size small. The free written pattern with all sizes, small, medium, and large, can be found on my website at julesandjones.com, and you can find the link for that in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. You will need two different colors of a worsted weight cotton yarn. I'm using WeCrochet Dishie yarn in the color Linen and in the color Swan. You're also going to need a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook, which is the size G. You're also going to need one stitch marker, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our pattern. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to quickly note that I'm going to be making the size small for this tutorial. Okay, and so for the size small, you want to chain 30. Now, if you want to go ahead and start and make the other sizes, you just want to go ahead and click that link in the description box, and that'll bring you straight to the pattern, and it'll say exactly how many you need to chain for the size medium and for the size large. So for the small size, we're going to be starting off with 30 chains. So first we need to make a slip knot though. So go ahead and grab the tail end of your yarn, and you're going to wrap it around your finger twice. Then take the back piece, push it over the front piece, and then take the front piece and push it over the back piece and over your finger. Then pull tight and go ahead and grab your crochet hook and insert it into that loop. And now for a chain, you want to go ahead and wrap your yarn over and pull through for your first chain. Now continue to do this until you have 30 total. All right, so I've just made 30 chains, and so now we're going to work our first round. So for our first round, we are just going to make half double crochets. So go ahead and find the second chain from your hook, which is right here, 1 and 2. Wrap the yarn around your hook, insert it into that second chain, wrap the yarn again, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through all 3 loops on your hook for half double crochet. Now you want to continue making half double crochets until your very last chain. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you right here at the end. Okay, so I'm here towards the end of my chain of my round 1, and so for the last chain you want to go ahead and make 2 half double crochets in the same chain. All right, so go ahead and work 2 half double crochets. Okay, and so now this round is done, because now we're going to actually work on the bottom of our foundation chain. So what you want to do is you want to carefully just flip your work to this side, make sure that tail end stays on the bottom, just like that. And so now we're going to work half double crochets along the bottom of our foundation chain until the very last stitch, because in the very last stitch, that's when you're going to add 2 again, 2 half double crochets. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are going to work a half double crochet right here in this spot. So let me grab a darning needle, and you are going to work it right in here. Okay, so not in this spot because that's where we added our 2 half double crochets, but you're going to add it in that spot. Okay, so go ahead and yarn over, grab your crochet hook and work it in, and then go ahead and make your half double crochet, just like that. Okay, and now just continue working into each one of those loops until your last loop. All right, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will meet you there at the end. Okay, so I'm here towards my end, and so now I just need to make 2 more half double crochets. So I'm just going to yarn over and insert my hook into that last loop. And then there's my last one. Okay. And so now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and slip stitch to the first half double crochet, which is right here. So you want to go ahead and take your hook, insert it, make sure you have 2 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again for a slip stitch. And what you can do at this point is you can add a stitch marker just so you know where you ended your round, just like that. Okay, and so that completes round 1. So now we're going to work on round 2. Okay, so now we're going to work round 2. Now for round 2, you're going to be using 2 stitches. So you're going to use the half double crochet stitch again, and then you're going to use the slip stitch, and we're going to be alternating between these 2 stitches to create the stitch pattern. Okay, so we're also going to be working in the back loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a half double crochet stitch. So you want to find your next stitch, which is right here, and we're going to work in the back loop. So not the first one, but the next one. Okay, so go ahead and insert your hook into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through again. And so now we're going to make a slip stitch in the back loop. So insert your hook in the back loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. There you go. And so now for the stitch pattern, you're just going to alternate between those two stitches. So you're going to make a half double crochet stitch again in the back loop. And then you're going to make a slip stitch. Okay, and you're going to do this all the way around your first round, okay, for your second round. So you're going to work it into each one of the stitches until you get to here. And so this is just used as just a handy tool to kind of note where your rounds end and begin at, but you're not going to slip stitch at the end. So you're just going to follow that stitch pattern all the way around until you have 12 rounds total. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work one round of this for round 2, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've just made my second round, and so you should have something that looks like this now. Okay, you're going to start to see a very textured looking round. All right, and so this is the front side, and then this is the back side. And so once you've made your second round, you just want to continue to repeat this round until you have 12 rounds total. And so you're not going to slip stitch at the end. This is just purely to know how many rounds you've done. You can also just choose to count them right here and then forego the slip stitch. So it's whatever you prefer. Okay, and so if you were to count it from here, you could see this is your first row, okay, because you can see those half double crochets, and then this is your second row. And so once you continue to do this for 12 rounds total, what's going to happen is that your sides are going to fold in on each other. All right, so it's going to start to look something like this. And so this is another small size. It's just another sample that I made. But if I fill it open, okay, you can see how it's 12 rounds. All right, and so you can count them actually going like this because it's going to go diagonal. All right, and so when you pop it back open, it'll fold down like this. All right, and so this is what you're aiming to get. And so there are step-by-step photos on my blog as well as in the PDF pattern. All right, so just go ahead and continue to make those rounds, and then I will meet you here when you've made them. All right, so I've just finished working my 12 rounds, and so you should have something that looks like this. You'll have a square that's just about closed. All right, and so now we're going to seam our two sides together. Now we're going to be using the slip stitch method for this part. Okay, and so you want to go ahead and grab your second color. You could hypothetically use the same color as you made the potholder in. Okay, so it's just up to you at this point. All right, so we need to add our second color back onto our project, and I do find that making a slip knot and then adding a tube makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so go ahead and grab your second color and make a slip knot. Insert your hook so it looks like this. All right, and so now we're going to find the very edge of our potholder, which is right here, and we're going to add it into the loop. Okay, so here's my knot where I ended my round, and I'm going to stick my hook right in this spot right here just to add it in. Okay, so make sure your slip knot is on your hook. Insert your hook carefully. Then grab the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn, yarn over, and slip stitch it through. So you just want to pull it through. Okay, and this part can be a little bit tricky, but there we go. All right, so now our new color of yarn is added onto our potholder. So now we're going to slip stitch the two sides together. So what you're going to do for this part is you are going to take the first loop right here, grab my darn needle again. You're going to take the first loop, and then you're going to take the back loop, which is right here, and slip those two together all the way till the end, till the two sides are seamed together. Okay, So I will admit the first and second stitch can be a little bit tricky just because you're working towards the very edge. But once you get past the first and second one, it's pretty easy then. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do my best to show you this part because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to show you on camera. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our loop right here, the part that I just showed you with the darning needle, and we're going to take the back loop just like that. And then we're going to make sure our tail end is pushed to this side on the right hand side. And then we're going to take our yarn and we're going to wrap it over again, and we're going to carefully pull it through. So there's 1 and 2. There we go. All right, so let's do another one. I'm going to take my loop again here. I'm going to take my other loop, just like that. I'm going to take my yarn and pull it through carefully. There we go. All right, and so now the yarn is a little bit easier because the yarn that we're using can just stay in the middle. And we're going to take our loop, just like that. Take our other loop, like that, and then take the yarn and pull it through for a slip stitch. There you go. All right, and see how that's already slowly closing here with a nice little line. Okay, and so you just want to continue that method until the very end on top right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to do that, and then I'll meet you right here once the two sides are seamed together. All right, so I've just finished slip stitching my two sides together, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and so now we're just going to make a loop. So go ahead and chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and so now we're going to attach our loop to our slip stitch. So you're just going to attach it to the last slip stitch that you made when you closed the pot holder. So if it's easier, you can always just flip your pot holder around, and this would be my last one right here. Okay, I'm going to take my yarn, just like that, and slip stitch it closed. Okay, so it's slip stitch closed. And so now we're going to work 10 single crochets around our loop. Okay, so you just want to take your crochet hook, insert it into that loop, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over one more time to make a single crochet. All right, and just continue to do that 9 more times for a total of 10. If you have to add more to your loop, that's totally fine. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do this until I have 10 total. Okay, so I've just made my 10 single crochets, and so now to finish it off, I just need to slip stitch it again to the last slip stitch I made when seaming my pot holder together. Okay, let me just slip stitch it through. Okay, so it looks like this, and then yarn over one more time, pull it all the way through that loop to close it off. And there you go. Now you have a loop added on to your pot holder. Okay, and so now we just want to go ahead and work in the tail ends of the part or of the yarn that we added to our pot holder to close the two sides together. And that is it. That's how you make a pot holder. All right, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a magic crochet pot holder. So these are actually all the sizes that you can make. So you have the large size, medium size, and small size. The large size is of course great for bigger pans. The medium works wonderful for medium pans. And then the small one doubles as a coaster. So you can use it for small saucers and then for your mugs. All right, I actually have a cup of tea here so I can show you, but see how it works perfect for a coaster? But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.